Hello again, it's John here. I'm at the next stage of the build of my Tamiya Audi Quattro rally car on the TT02 chassis, and I'm on steps C 26 to 37. So on step number 26, this talks about doing the checks for the radio gear, and more importantly to check to make sure that you have the steering servo in the neutral position so that you can steer the car equally from left to right. So when I purchased my car through modelsport.co.uk, I purchased it as a kit. So in that kit I have a 3-channel radio gear, and that is a steering wheel set, as you can see. I also purchased a steering servo, which is a Core RC 4012, and inside the instructions it shows you how to ensure that you bind the transmitter to the receiver. It also shows you in the instructions on the receiver, it shows you the channels. So channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, and channel with the battery connection here along the top. So you've got your 3 channels. So that'll be your steering, your throttle, your spare channel, and then your battery connection. This button here, this demonstrates the button that you use to set up the receiver to first of all do the binding process, and also the fail-safe, because these could be used for nitro models as well as electric. So here we have the receiver itself. I'm using the standard Tamiya TBLE 02, and that's the standard speed controller that came with the kit. And there's my steering, my servo. I've connected the cabling up to the motor as well. And then you have the switch to turn the car on, which we'll later put into the car. So more important is whenever you're doing your sequence, always ensure that you turn on your transmitter first, so you always have control, and then turn the car on afterwards. So you can hear, there you go. There we are. So that indicates that the transmitter is on. And then, there we are, turn the switch on. So now, as I turn, you can see, and what I can do now is I can adjust my throttle trims and my steering trim. So I've got my trim here, my steering reverse and neutral, and my steering trim to ensure that I can get the right 0 position on the servo. So my controller here beeps noises as you're adjusting, and that beep there indicated that we're in the neutral position. So now, whenever I turn left or right, whenever I leave, we're now back in the neutral position. The servo itself will mount into the car. So we've got to do the next process. That's going to mount here with some mounting devices into the car. And then we're going to put some arms across here, and those arms will connect between the splines of the servo to this position on the bridge of the arms of the steering mechanism. So then as you turn the servo, you'll then get your action to turn your arms. And that's simply the radio gear and how you connect it through. The main thing is to ensure that for your radio gear, you know which channel is which. You ensure that you turn the transmitter on first and then the car. And when you're turning the car off, you make sure you turn the car off first and then turn your transmitter off. And then you can see the LED indicators are off, and then disconnect your battery. That's radio gear. And we're going to put all the radio gear now into the car, and that'll be the next steps, making sure we screw the servo horns and put the correct servo horns and the servo savers onto the splines of the actual servo itself. So see you next time, and thanks for watching.